Oh yeah.
Hope you did too, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
It looks like I just flipped people off. Let's try that again. This one. See ya.
Hey guys.
I don't know what to do with my
Stop
hands.
it.
Okay,
I'm introing.
Go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Arsenic and Espresso, a podcast where we sometimes drink coffee, but we always talk metal. So today we are reacting to As I Lay Dying's new video for their song Torn Between off the album Shaped by Fire, released last year.
Yep, that was a good album too.
It was a very good album.
Really good. No, I think it's important to note. I mean, As I Lay Dying is one of our favorite bands, right? So obviously we've heard this song before. I honestly haven't played through this album as much as I have some of their previous albums, but I think it's just because there's been such good music that's been put out, and we've been kind of listening to all of it. So, and
let's just jump right in. Torn Between.
Go. They do these intros so well.
I've always loved how they have almost like a battle between the vocals and the instruments.
Yeah.
And like oh gosh, I can't think of the correct term for it, but that like the part after the first verse, the intro to the chorus, I feel like they always
bridge.
The bridge. Thank you. They always have this like battle. And the instruments go and the vocals go. Yeah. And it's really intense, and it gives a really good lead up to the chorus almost in almost all of their songs. And I love it.
No, when the lead guitarist breaks off and then the clean vocals come through, Tim's clean vocals, I mean, there's no other band that does it like them.
Agreed.
And I think also, to get on that point as well, something that they do so much better than most bands out there is layering those clean vocals.
Yes, because the melody and the harmonies and the clean vocals, it is so strong. And those clean vocals are equally as powerful as the dirty vocals. And I feel like a lot of times bands will try to layer them, and one is more overpowering than the other. One has more skill behind it than the other, and you can
it's
tell.
Not like how a lot of layers go as well. Like sometimes a band will layer clean and dirty just to kind of give that same or rather they layer the clean and the dirty but with the same lyrics, right? Whereas what they do with As I Lay Dying is they oftentimes have completely like
different lyrics.
Exactly, different lyrics, and the way that it's just layered, it just sounds awesome.
But as life unfolded, I realized the momentum to drift from side to side came from within. Came from inside. I feel caught between two sides, but I'll tread them in forward. Broken and exposed, collapsing. So why would I hold on? So why would I hold on?
say I don't know what this video has to do with the song.
I don't either.
But it looks cool.
It gives me kind of The Prestige.
Yeah.
It reminds me of The Prestige because like he's like looking inside, and in The Prestige when Hugh Jackman's character starts experimenting with like human life. It has that same vibe. Like he's looking at himself in the tanks, and then he's like, oh, but they're not really human, so kill them. Like they're fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
so. It's giving me all of that to say.
Gotcha. Also, I said Tim does the clean vocals. That's not right. It's Nick that does the clean vocals, I think. So
the lead guitar. Oh, and Josh Gilbert on bass also does clean vocals.
Yeah, that's right.
So all three of them.
And I think that's what gives them such a great sound, because it harmonizes so well.
It harmonizes so well. I feel like Nick and Josh, they have really amazing vocal ranges, really amazing voices. And like I was saying, like layered with Tim's dirty vocals, they're all equally as like trained. Yeah. And they all hold their own.
Well, and I think that's why, I mean, if people made a top 5 list, right, for metalcore, I think As I Lay Dying has to be on there.
Agreed.
And if it's not on there, then I think
you have to write a 5-page essay as to why they're
right,
not.
Exactly.
Hold the phone.
Okay.
I kind of have goosebumps. So this is the album after Tim was released from jail after
the situation,
trying to get or putting a hit out on his wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, why I chose to wear my Tiger King shirt.
Carol Baskin killed her husband. Anyway, so this is after that. The characters in this video, he's separated from this woman. He can't get to her, and he is trying to get to her. And I think we might be seeing Tim struggle after the fact of being in such a dark place where he thought he wanted this person dead, and he thought he wanted to be responsible for it.
Yeah.
And now she is gone from him.
Yeah.
And will remain gone from him. He will never have her back. And so I think we're seeing a little bit into that.
Yeah. That goes into part of the lyrics, right? Just talking about being torn between two hearts, right? I also feel like it's a whole lot to do with his religious beliefs, right? Because they all came up in the Christian core era, and they've all said, you know, they've talked about their religious beliefs before.
Yeah.
And so obviously with this huge conflict of putting a hit out on his wife, right? There was
how does he on from that?
How does he bounce from what he feels he believes and how he feels he's been acting? And I feel like that's what I feel like the whole song is about,
how does he function with his actions and cope with his faith?
Yeah.
And those actions and then continue on in life, and how does he maintain that faith after doing something like that?
And talking about how there's basically like two people, right? And he's looking into those two people of like, okay, well, which one am I really, right? Because you can't focus on either one of those, and it's so, you know, distorted, and he just so I feel like he can't put enough energy into one of them. And it says, what does he say? It says like the actions are or the ability to move from one side to the other, right? We'll go over the lyrics here in a minute. Yeah, so he says the momentum to drift from side to side came from within, came from inside. And I think that he's realizing that like he has the choice to drift or to choose one side, but he just can't. And so he's stuck in this weird middle ground, just levitating, but not actually existing in either one.
Yeah.
Cool. what you're gonna say.
First of all, I feel like kind of on the verge of tears watching this. But also, musically speaking, whenever As I Lay Dying or any other band, they have this huge buildup and you're like, okay, here's a breakdown. I think there was a Trivium song. I said the same thing. You expect this breakdown because there's this huge lead up, and then they drop almost every instrument, and there's really calm, clean vocals, and then you're hit with a breakdown.
There's a nice
it's
break.
It's chilling. Yeah. But honestly, this video is very emotional. I feel very emotional watching this. I feel very like almost upset watching it, but like in a good way.
Well, and I was going to point out too, like how iconic their sound is. I mean, none of their songs sound the same, right? Musically. But I feel like you could put on any As I Lay Dying song from their first album all the way till now.
Yes.
And between the guitars and the drums, you know, a 5-second clip and you'd know
exactly
who it is. And I think that's cool. I think that's awesome that they've stuck to that sound. But they've changed.
Yeah, they have grown.
Yeah. Definitely grown.
Well, and I think this is a perfect example of growth in a band versus like what we talked about with Asking Alexandria, a complete
change. Well, and that's
and genre shift.
To get on my soapbox again about them, right? Is this is a band maturing?
Yes.
Right. If you look at their lyrics and this album in particular, the content, the just the writing itself is so much deeper and it's so much more mature than what they were doing before anyways. And I mean, I know that lyrically they've always been talented.
Right.
Lyrically they've always had hard hitting stuff. But you can see the change post situation, right? And that is how a band evolves, right?
Yes.
It's not by switching genres to feel like you know, when you feel like you can make more money doing something different.
Right. Agreed.
And then the outro too. They're so good at the outros and the intros to all of their songs.
Every time.
Yeah.
I truly, like, genuinely feel on the verge of tears after watching that. I remember when he was released from jail, or did he go to prison? I guess prison.
I don't know.
Whatever. When he was released, I remember talking with you and being like, if they were to make music again, like, what would we see?
Yeah.
Would they pretend, because other bands have done this when something illegal happens,
Right.
Other bands have pretended that nothing happened.
Right.
And they continue writing the same kind of music they did before.
Right.
Other bands will then lament and have this huge, really elaborate performance about how sorry they are and how big of a mistake they made, and look, we're volunteering now, and it's too much of a show.
Yeah.
And I just remember having that discussion, like, what would we hear from As I Lay Dying if they were to put out music again?
Right. Well, and I feel, and this goes back, and I know that they actually have a couple other videos to this album too that I think we should go back and look at. But you know, I can't remember what song that was now though, where he talks about, you know, will I ever be separated from my actions before? And I feel like that kind of statement is sort of what the whole album's about. But you're right. They didn't just try to capitalize on something. You could truly feel that, like, music is all that these guys have. Like, they put everything they have into their music.
Yeah.
And so no matter what came up, including jail time and crazy stuff, they still just want to put it back into the music. It's not so that they can make money again. It's not to sell out. It's not to capitalize on a bad situation. It's because this is what they do.
Yeah.
So now this is the situation that they're in, and they're putting out music because of it. And I can respect that.
Well, and like looking through these lyrics, I remember when Oh gosh, what was the first song they put out from this CD?
Oh,
let me just.
that
look.
song gave me chills. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Oh, still, whenever it comes on. My Own Grave. Okay, I remember going through the lyrics of My Own Grave,
That
and
might still be the best song of the album too.
I feel like it is, and I feel like it depicted perfectly what he went through while he was incarcerated.
Yeah.
And I think it was very evident that he was only going to be able to process this like through music. Like this is how he was going to get through what was happening in his life. I think he's been fairly transparent lyrically speaking. Musically speaking, I feel like he's been really transparent with fans as to like where he's at. And yeah, they put out this incredible album, but I feel like he also is saying like I'm not good.
Right.
like yeah, we're putting out music, but like I'm not good.
I'm doing a whole lot better, but I still got a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think that's very transparent too. I know for me too. I mean, As I Lay Dying was one of the first concerts that we ever went to together.
Yes.
I'll put a link to. We had a podcast talking about metalcore, and we talked about that.
Yeah, it was a great show.
So in the eye somewhere, wherever the eye goes, I think it goes here.
It goes in a corner.
Yeah.
I'm like over
Your
there.
corner. Your corner. I'll try to put it there.
It'll probably be on the other side.
Yeah, right. But I remember just feeling when I heard the news and everything, I was just like, oh man.
Oh, it didn't even seem real.
No,
I remember.
Well, and I just realized that there was a huge part of our life musically and memories and stuff like that I was like, it didn't take away from any of it. But I realized that there was just never going to be any new music again. Right. And I was like, that sucks,
Yeah.
But then
we also assumed the band when we found out he was arrested and everything. I remember just being like, well, the band's probably going to break up. Like, how would you come back from this?
Yeah.
How would you come back from this and not seem like a total douche being like, whatever, I went to jail, who cares? Like, what he did was, like, really horrific. And he almost took someone's life.
Right.
Willingly.
Yep.
Right? Like he was in such a place mentally.
Such a dark place,
that he felt that was his choice, that was the only route he could go.
Well, and I think that this kind of speaks to that. This song speaks to that as well.
Agreed.
Right? Of like those two feelings, right? And where am I at? And torn in between both of those places, and just feeling like, okay, I am still alive, but I don't feel alive.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and so I think that's perfect segue into the lyric breakdown. So it starts off, pulled both ways, but still suspended, the worst of each reduced and blended, still suspended. I thought I was stuck between two worlds because I was not willing to let go, recklessly pulled both ways, but somehow still suspended. The worst of each reduced and blended, but as life unfolded, I realized the momentum to drift from side to side came from within, came from inside. I feel torn between two hearts dying, but I'll trade them in for one. Broken and exposed, collapsing, so why would I hold on? One heart turned black, the other blue and bruised. Arms breaking from the dreams shattered, the dreams that I can't reach. There has to be a choice I have not seen. I feel torn between two hearts, but I'll trade them in for one. Broken and exposed, collapsing, so why would I hold on? I feel torn between two hearts dying, but I'll trade them in for one. One darkened over time, burning away the shame, erasing hidden insights I did not want to be seen. The other was beaten from being exposed, so it hurt less to never hold it close. I feel torn between two hearts dying, but I'll trade them in for one. Broken and exposed, collapsing, so why would I hold on? I feel torn between two hearts dying, but I'll trade them in for one. So why would I hold on? I'll trade them in for one. Neither heart had power to fill my veins or be the source of who I want to be, pulled both ways, but still suspended. Like, how can you not get emotional reading that? Like, I have actual tears in my eyes.
I think that's really important to point out, too. Like, the lyrics are written in a way or written like poetry.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of metalcore songs, a lot of metalcore bands, they don't write like poetry. And they don't sound like poetry.
The first time I read through these lyrics, I said, it reads like an Edgar Allan Poe poem.
Yeah. Yeah.
it has a rhythm that is more similar to poetry than musical lyrics.
Right. Like, I mean, he could put out, or rather they, because I don't know if he's responsible for all the lyrics. I don't think he's responsible for all of them. But I know that he's a huge contributor to it. But they could put out books of poetry, right? Just of their lyrics. And I think that speaks volumes, right? Bands don't do that. Especially metalcore bands. It's not, I mean, look, and I challenge you too, right? Like, look up other metalcore bands, look up the lyrics, and it doesn't read like poetry. Like, it might
like a song.
Kind of, but it reads like a song. Exactly. Like, certain lines rhyme, but it doesn't read like poetry.
And this, I don't know. Like I said, it truly, it brought up a lot of emotion for me. I feel like we're seeing what the band as a whole went through all of this, because Tim wasn't the only one affected. Like, he affected the lives of these men who had become family. Like, like, these are his brothers, and
they also had everything invested in the
band. They had
it's not just
everything invested in the band. And his decision nearly cost them their livelihood, you know? And so I feel like we're seeing everyone's reaction to what happened. And I'm so thankful that they're being so transparent with their journey. And I feel really thankful that they're making music again. I remember when you sent me the link for My Own Grave, and I couldn't even like comprehend what I was seeing and hearing, because I never expected to hear music from them again. I never expected new music. And the fact that they made music that was absolutely incredible and mind-blowing.
Right.
Like, I have always loved their stuff. Their album, let's see.
You like Ocean Between Us. That's your your album.
An Ocean Between Us is one of the few albums I can listen from start to finish.
Absolutely.
I don't skip a single song. I will listen to that album on repeat. Like, I want to just keep experiencing the whole album.
I don't think there's a CD that they've put out that I can't do that for. I don't know. All of their stuff just sounds complete. Even their early stuff.
I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so emotional about this. Like, I can't stop like feeling. I feel sad after watching that. Like, it was truly just like heart-wrenching. The video, it was dark, it was tormented. Like I said, the visuals really had the same sort of energy as The Prestige. And that same brokenness at the end when he realizes like he's been killing people, not just empty bodies, that they were like, sentient feeling humans, and in that video, him trying to reach the woman, and he ended up dying at the end instead. Like,
there's a parallelism there for sure.
And it's just wonderful. I don't know, I think it was a beautiful video. I think the lyrics are just incredible. And really emotion provoking. And I think they're one of the bands that I'm always like, when people argue, oh, metal, it doesn't take any talent, I'm like, just listen to,
actually
listen to As I Lay Dying.
Yeah.
Read the lyrics as you're listening along, and you'll be absolutely blown away. And this song truly
I feel like they are the bar, right? They are the bar for metalcore. And I mean, honestly, a lot of metal in general. They are the bar for that. Let
us know what you think of the song. Let us know what you think of the band. I know we've said a couple of times, and we will do it. We will do a full breakdown of As I Lay Dying before and after their situation. And we'll give them their own episode, a full-length podcast episode, I feel. We could talk about them for days, absolutely for days.
Yeah, definitely an hour-long episode though, for sure.
But so let us know what you think. Let us know what you thought of the video. Links for all of our other social medias are in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had a lot of fun with this.
Oh yeah.
Hope you did too, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
It looks like I just flipped people off. Let's try that again. This one. See ya.